Adolf Hitler wakes up in Berlin in 2014. After getting his bearings, he is discovered by an unemployed TV producer, Fabian Sawatzki. He thinks Hitler is some sort of performance artist and takes him around the country, talking to the general population, for a TV piece he has envisaged. Hitler, however, sees this as a chance to regain his popularity and power. This sci-fi movie gonna blow your mind. Let's watch. The movie begins in Berlin during World War II, where Hitler, accompanied by a behavior coach named Keppel, expresses his dissatisfaction with the way people greet Keppel. He argues that even though the Nazi salute is outdated, people should at least raise their hands to the wrist to show respect. Hitler narrates his efforts to destroy the enemy's foundations. In the next scene, Hitler wakes up in a forest and notices the absence of enemy aircraft. A ball bounces towards him, and 3 kids approach, asking if he's okay. Hitler sees them as the future of the nation, asks for directions, and is unknowingly filmed by reporter Fabian Sawatzki. Hitler decides to go to the Führer bunker. On the street, Hitler is amazed by monowheel bikes and people capturing him on camera. Perplexed, he wonders if he missed the victory or fell into a coma. Seeking information, he asks a man about the chancellery, but is instead asked for a picture. Disturbed by camera flashes, Hitler walks away, realizing something is amiss. Approaching a woman on the phone, Hitler asks for the current date, but she sprays his eyes in terror. In pain, he stumbles to a newspaper shop and is shocked to see the date is October 3, 2014, causing him to collapse on the ground. Elsewhere, the boss of a TV station, Karner, praises Mr. Christoph Sensenbrink for his outstanding work as the deputy head. Instead of offering him a higher position, Karner announces Miss Katja Bellini as the managing director, leaving Christoph shocked and dissatisfied. Christoph vents his anger on a struggling filmmaker named Fabian, who despite his best efforts, gets fired and escorted out by guards. Later, Hitler wakes up at a news shop and questions the owner about the date, confirming it is 2014. Confused, Hitler suspects a possible kidnapping or a trick by the enemy's secret service. He threatens the shopkeeper, who offers him a bar of chocolate instead. Hitler, struggling to open it, declares it as industrially pressed grain and asks about bread shortages. Mistaking him for an actor, the shopkeeper remarks that Hitler looks exactly like the Führer. Hitler confirms his identity, notices a Turkish newspaper, and is surprised by the presence of Turkish people in Berlin. He collects information from the newspaper, lamenting that he didn't win the past war, and Germany is now led by clumsy women with the charisma of a wet noodle. He expresses disappointment in the existence of Poland, deeming the war a total waste. Meanwhile, Fabian watches his soccer reporting video. Saddened by his firing, his mother comforts him, and as he pauses the video, he spots Hitler in the background, amused by the uncanny resemblance. In the shop, the owner asks Hitler to step outside and grumbles about being asked to work. The shopkeeper suggests he clean his clothes, prompting Hitler to go to a laundry place and request his uniform be cleaned. He asks if they have another uniform since he can't walk away naked. Afterward, we see Hitler strolling to the newsstand, now dressed in jeans and a sweater. On the other hand, Fabian has somehow located him and waits in the shop. Seeing Hitler, Fabian is amazed at his appearance and proposes filming him as he explores modern Germany. Hitler agrees, and Fabian, borrowing cash and a car from his mother, embarks on a journey with Hitler. They end up in a hotel where Hitler is fascinated by the television and decides to discuss politics in Fabian's presentation. Hitler goes to various places, interviewing people about their political views. After the interviews, he observes minimal impact of democracy during his absence and senses discontent and suppressed anger reminiscent of the 1930s. Though lacking the term political disenchantment, people share concerns about immigrants, leading Hitler to express his belief that mixing races doesn't work. Later, Fabian inquires about the origin of Hitler's unique mustache, and Hitler reveals he shaped it to fit a gas mask. In a farm, Hitler gets bitten by a dog, reacts angrily, and shoots at the animal. Fabian scolds him, takes away the gun, and they continue the tour. As funds run low, Fabian comes up with a plan to have people pay for sketches drawn by Hitler. People find the drawings funny and pay for them, allowing the trip to continue. Christoph asks for Hitler's name and contact number. After meeting him, Christoph suspects Hitler to be a lunatic and asks Fabian to take him away from the office. Before leaving, Hitler enters the director's office and proposes saving Germany together. Bellini asks him about the plan and instructs her assistant to prepare a TV format for broadcasting Hitler's idea. Fabian then threatens Christoph, demanding his job back or else he will take Hitler away. Upon hearing this, Christoph appoints him as a kitchen boy, promising a promotion when a new editorial post becomes available. Later, Hitler is given a table in the TV studio, and Christoph calls for Kromeyer to assist him with using a computer. Hitler, recalling his days and appreciating the invention, tries to sign up for email but finds his name already taken. He suggests using New Reich's Chancellery, and Christoph plans to feature Hitler on a live comedy show called Whoa Dude. Still bitter about Bellini's promotion, Christoph aims to create trouble by injecting sarcastic jokes about Jews and eventually ousting Hitler. The show begins, and the host, Witzigmann, calls Hitler to the stage. While the audience gossips about Hitler's appearance, he captures their attention and breaks the scripted silence. Refusing to tell an immigrant joke, Hitler criticizes nonsensical TV shows, addressing real issues like poverty and unemployment. He vows to fight against such broadcasts until the country overcomes its problems, earning applause. Witzigmann becomes envious of Hitler's popularity, and Bellini asks Christoph to feature Hitler in every show. Distressed by the plan's failure, Christoph witnesses Hitler gaining immense popularity, giving interviews and meeting various people and party leaders. Hitler charms them with his ideas. One day, Hitler and Fabian visit NPD headquarters in Berlin, questioning Ulf Birne, the federal chairman of NPD, about their cause's achievements. Hitler belittles them, stating they wasted time and set the movement back by decades. Excitement fills Christoph when the cops and the district attorney, DA, appear at the TV studio. They explain a complaint of violating hate laws but decide the show can continue. Christoph suggests canceling the Führer show, but Bellini, relieved, decides to keep it. After the DA leaves, Kromeyer hands Christoph a letter, which turns out to be payment for the dog, leaving Christoph happily anticipating trouble. Hitler is featured on a TV program where he faces direct questions about his various roles in the war. When asked about his deeds, Hitler expresses a desire to connect with people, but the interviewer disagrees, stating that not all his actions can be justified. The interviewer shows a clip of Hitler shooting a dog, disturbing the audience. Hitler threatens the interviewer, stating he would do the same to him and turn their studio into a parking lot for tanks. After the disastrous interview, Bellini is fired, and Christoph becomes the new manager. Subsequently, Hitler goes to live with Fabian, finding amusement in the twists of destiny, and starts writing his second book, which quickly becomes popular. 3 months later, during a meeting at the TV studio, the massive losses are discussed. Christoph believes Witzigmann's show will help recover, but one employee reveals he has quit. Christoph gets tense and blames selected employees for losing the show. Someone suggests bringing Hitler back, which intrigues Christoph. He searches for Hitler and offers Fabian $1 million investment in their film if they allow it to be broadcast on their TV. Hitler and Fabian visit Kromeyer's house, where Kromeyer's grandmother identifies Hitler, accusing him of gassing people and calling him a criminal. She demands he leave. In the car, Hitler expresses surprise at Kromeyer being Jewish, considering them less than humans. Fabian becomes disappointed in Hitler's actions and words. Back at the movie set, Fabian has Hitler replay how he arrived there, asking about the events before the ball rolled towards him in the woods. Unfortunately, Hitler cannot recall those details. Later that night, after leaving the set, Hitler is surrounded by thugs who blame him for Germany's troubles and deliver a hard blow to his face. Upon waking up, he finds himself in a hospital in front of Bellini. Simultaneously, Fabian reviews footage of the video capturing boys and soccer, noticing that Hitler rose from where he was lying. Amazed by what happened, Fabian quickly goes to the location, finding a board stating the historical location of the Führer bunker. Rushing to the hospital, he doesn't find Hitler, and Bellini mentions he's headed to the shooting set. Fabian asserts that he is the real Adolf Hitler, but Bellini remains skeptical. Acting mad, Fabian tries to explain his theory hysterically, and guards attempt to catch him, but he manages to flee. Reaching the set, Fabian aims a gun at Hitler and questions his identity. Hitler clarifies he never claimed to be someone else. Fabian accuses Hitler of fooling people with propaganda, but Hitler argues that people elected a leader who openly shared his ideas in 1933. Fabian takes Hitler to the top of a building with his gun, declaring him a monster. Hitler responds that ordinary people elected an extraordinary man, entrusting the fate of the country to him, as they share the same values. Fabian shoots Hitler, causing him to fall from the building. However, Fabian hears Hitler's voice saying, "No German can get rid of him," and Hitler appears right behind him again. At this moment, Bellini calls for a cut in the studio, revealing it was just a film shoot, and a random actor played Fabian's role. Hitler then asks everyone to remember comrades who couldn't be with them. In another location, Kromeyer is seen sobbing while looking at Fabian through a hole in the mental ward. Meanwhile, Hitler and Bellini are busy giving autographs and interviews to people after the success of the film. Passing by a car, people on the street show fondness for Hitler and greet him with respect. Here you will get mind-blowing movies every time. Show your support by subscribing and check out the videos on your screen.